Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Fat Man Scoop, the undisputed voice of the club, the two-time Grammy Award winner. Let me make this official for you. Fat Man Scoop, Crooklyn Clan, Internets. It's time to go with my dude, Premium Pete. Let's get focused. Let's go. Internets. Let's turn up. One time. Premium Pete.
Come on, everybody get set. Let's go. It's the next episode. It's the Premium Pete Show. News, interviews, all of the info. Listen up. It's the Premium Pete Show. If you want the scoop in the low, down low, listen to the show, cause Milk said so. Fuck what you heard, better act like you know. It's the Premium Pete Show.
Internets, welcome back to another episode of the Premium Pete Show. Finally, man, this is actually multiple guests requested.
Wow.
Drew Ha,
Shout out Drew.
Shouts to Drew Ha. A lot of people were saying the episode we did with Drew Ha, were saying that we look alike. But sometimes people say we look alike.
I can see that a little bit. He's a smaller version.
Yeah, I was like, he's my mini-me.
Shout out Drew. No diss. No smut on the name.
Listen.
Saying,
It's funny, but I mean this. There's certain people you want to have on. After you do this for so long, it's like sometimes you don't know. It's just a feeling, a vibe of who you would like to have on. It's funny because I had that, on my list, and Drew Ha was like, "Yo, you got to have Johnny Shipes on," and
here I am.
I know. Finally, yo, I was like, "Yo, is this gonna happen?" Because last time he was like, "Yo, fucking, I got a headache, man. I can't come on."
Well, to the point of smoking weed, that day I had smoked too much weed. I didn't drink water. I was just dehydrated. Got the headache going.
It's funny. Before we, when we were off air, I was telling you. Well, for those who listen who don't know Johnny Shipes, I like
cinematic, bitch.
Yeah. Well, so there you go. Is that the what do they call that? A tagline?
Tagline? Nah, we got better taglines than that.
Cinematic CEO.
Yeah.
Founder.
Yeah.
And then I would have to say entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's what it says on my Instagram header.
Okay.
Entrepreneur.
Music industry executive.
Yeah, no. I don't like the word exec.
Okay.
Because those are the square bears. Those are the people
those are the
I don't
thugs?
fuck with. Those,
Okay.
Yeah, those are the thugs. And those are the people that never gave me an opportunity.
Yeah, fucking Doug. What's the matter with Doug? Tell him to go play golf tomorrow.
Oh, Doug, you said. I thought you said thugs.
No,
Executive
Doug.
thugs.
If you know any Dougs that you like, no offense.
I don't have any problems with any Doug. I don't know who Doug is. But I'm an entrepreneur who loves music. So music was the first way for me to make a living.
It's funny because off air I was saying you're the kind of guy I feel like is certain people who are very underrated or more important, not only underrated but also under the radar.
Right.
Even like somebody like Drew Ha, you think about it, all these years, there's so many people hit me after we did this episode. They're like, holy shit, I didn't even know that he had his hands.
He rapped on a Black Moon track?
Well, yeah, that too. Or that they almost signed Eminem. Some people know, but they don't know the full story of that. Even just as Young M.A. and listen, longevity, man.
Yeah.
How long you?
It's a marathon.
How long you been with Cinematic? How long you created that? Yeah.
Since from the beginning, my very first tattoo was this cinematic tattoo. I was 17, and people thought I was crazy. They would ask what it was, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's my record label." And they'd be like, "Yeah, all right." I'd be like, "Nah, it's gonna be my label. This is the name of it." So it's always been cinematic.
Well, it's great that you say that because cinematic is actually something when people think about it, it's like movie, it's like a theater.
Yeah.
But yet you're a record label, a music label, right?
Yeah. The reason I named it cinematic was because if you close your eyes and listen to music, all the best music is cinematic. Like, name me who's your favorite artist, favorite album? Anyone or one of them.
There's no reasonable doubt.
Okay, cool. You could just close your eyes and Jay painted you a picture of what it was like hustling in Brooklyn. That was a movie that he put to music, in my opinion. So, like, Outkast, him, Ghetto Boys, Scarface, Nas, Bob Marley, Led Zeppelin, Beastie Boys, they all painted me a picture when I was growing up. So I just came up with the name Cinematic, and that was just stuck.
You think about where'd you grow up?
On 93rd and 1st.
In the city?
Yeah, and 83rd and Lex. My parents were separated, and then I bounced around a bunch. From
an early age, your parents were separated?
Yeah, from like 13, 12, 13, something like that. And then I lived on my own since I was 16. So I bounced around I went to like this boarding school upstate. That didn't work out. Then I went to the Hamptons, like literally in the Hamptons. And I went to East Hampton High School for my junior and senior and double senior year because I was like, school was never really my thing. Graduated and then moved back home.
Now, what did mom do?
She was a charity fundraiser her whole life. So she like would raise money for like underprivileged kids or like, cancer. When Obama ran, she like helped with the campaign there. So she was always like a a philanthropist, but like that's you make a living
Sure,
doing that. She gets a percentage of whatever goes down.
What about Pops?
So my dad, I know when I was younger he did clothing, like he had a clothing company, and then he left when I was 14. So I don't really know what he did between 14 and now. We just actually rekindled and started talking and stuff.
Congrats,
like that.
man.
Yeah, thanks. Because I don't really hold any animosity towards him or my mom, because if they hadn't have put me in those situations, I probably wouldn't have been as hungry to win and succeed and keep pushing on my own. There was I didn't have any support system from 16 on, so I'm not mad at it. I think it made me into the man I am today. If I had probably a good family relationship would have been better, but it definitely, I came out okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, listen, blessings for that. But, you think about how so many people grow up without a father.
Yeah.
Right? And then some people, I tell people don't even realize that, because I'm a separated dad since my daughter was 2. And that was tough. Like, it's not the same as raising a kid living home.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, and also, some of the stuff I look back on now, this is taking a very serious turn. I think everybody would expect when there's a Johnny Shipes interview, it's going to be funny.
Yeah.
But
We'll get there.
It's all good. We're going serious. But, there's two elements to that situation, because there's the mom in your ear as a young kid in the house. Oh, your dad ain't shit. Fuck him. And then your dad, telling you the opposite thing. And you're just like young and torn. You don't know what to do. So I think that's the most important thing, is just a father or mom is just staying in the kids' lives. One of my best friends is going through this right now. And I said to him, yo, you just got to make sure you're there for your kids. Treat them like you would want to be treated. Your parents are always there for you, which my friend's parents were. And I just said, the relationship isn't going to work, but as a man, you need to be there for your kids. And, that's honestly how I feel.
Yeah. Did moms think you were crazy when you told her you were going to start a record label?
Totally insane. Like, at 14, I was, building, a fucking music studio in her basement with turntables, and, above her basement was, the bedroom. So she would, hear me blasting music. She was not fucking with me at all as a kid. I was crazy as fuck.
Now, how'd you get put on to, hip-hop? In particular, because I'm sure you listen to a lot of different things.
I feel probably the generic way to say it is any fucking kid that was 10, 11, 12 years old, just God damn it, no.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Damn.
No, so I think any young kid probably just scrolling through the television, and I would see MTV, and it's probably started with a lot of rock stuff, White Snake and Aerosmith, and then before you knew it, there was Yo MTV Raps. I was just a young kid learning music, and the first time I ever heard, it's funny because I really think I can't ever think of another song that I heard before this hip-hop wise, so it was the Ghetto Boys' Gangster of Love, which is, I don't know if you know that song off top, but I heard it. I loved it. It was a Steve Miller Band sample, so there was a dope guitar in it. I was like, yo, this shit is fire. They were talking crazy shit about bitches, kind of sex and all this extra shit. I was 12, so I was like, yo, this is fire. And then I just kept going, and from there was Public Enemy and DJ Quick and Snoop and obviously all the East Coast legends, Nas, Jay. I started listening music really when I was 10, so it was probably even before Run DMC and all that stuff. Definitely Public Enemy, and then I just by the time I was 14, I was making mixtapes for everybody in my school, so I would just be in it. It was just in me. I knew good music the moment I heard it, or if something was trash, I'd be like, eh.
But did you think that you would be where you are today, having cinematic and having? You figured that?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I don't. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Good.
No, I don't even now I have new goals that I'm working on that I know I'm going to make happen. It's not a question. I just do it. Yeah. Instead of looking for the press or where you were oh, there's underrated people or this and that. I don't care about none of that other shit. I have these horse blinders on. And I just work on what I want to work on.
Yeah.
For
people listening who may not know of Johnny Shipes, right? And Cinematic, right? Cinematic is the home to. Let's start, naming some of the people over the years.
So super early on, I worked with High Tech. I executive produced the high technology stuff for him, and then that led to Foxy Brown and Nappy Roots, and then from there, I found Sean Kingston when he was 14. That was like the first thing that actually like put me on in the game. This dude Zach Katz called me and was like, "Yo, you got to listen to this kid Sean Kingston. We want you to manage him." Managed him. Kid blew up, and then Sony gave me a record label, and then I went and found Nipsey. Nipsey, rest in peace. He had one song out, "Bullets Ain't Got No Names," and Felly Fell, the DJ from the West Coast. He basically, we had signed this kid named Hot Dollar at the time to Jermaine Dupri. And the music was like okay, no disrespect to Hot Dollar, it just wasn't what I was used to coming up on the West of West Coast music. And I said to Felly, I was like, "Yo, there's got to be somebody fire out here. Like, who is fire that's like spitting that shit that I grew up on?" Like, and he was like, "Yo, there's this kid Nipsey, you know, but he comes with like a lot of stuff. Like he's like, you know, in the streets heavy, blah blah blah." I took it in my head. I was like, "All right, cool." Went back home, just got on MySpace. I just dated myself and found him. And when I heard it, I just knew. So I flew back, wound up working out a deal with Nip, signed Nip. From there, went and found Big K.R.I.T in Mississippi.
But, you know, that sounds easy, but how do you find Big K.R.I.T?
I just listened. So this dude Perry had sent me beats from him. And I like was like, "Yo, these beats are crazy." And one of the beats was the beat Just Touched Down from K.R.I.T Was Here. And he had flipped across 110th Street sample. And I was like, "Yo, this is crazy. Like, who is this?" And Perry put me in touch with him, and then he was just like, "Yeah, I make music too." And I listened to it, and he was just incredible. So I don't know, yo, a lot of times like I get lucky, but I'm like luck and preparation, you know what I mean? As long as you're just like there ready to catch the ball or the fumble when it fumbles and take it to the next end zone, it works. So like there's luck involved, there's skill, like knowing your ear, knowing what's hot. Huh? Yeah, super talent, you know.
Shouts to Hovain.
Yeah.
No, but you think about it, even like with Nipsey. Now, when you say you signed him, now was Big U around him at that time? And Steve LaBelle?
I did that with Big U and Steve LaBelle.
Okay.
Yep. They were managing him, and I came in as a label.
Yeah. And he agreed to it. Was that something that took a long time to close a deal with him?
Who Big U?
With Nipsey.
Nah, it was pretty quick. I was gung ho. Like when I heard Nip, I just knew. Like I was just everything about him, his star everything. Like you know, like it's unfortunate that it took him passing for the world to be like, "Oh, this is him." But you know, that was him. Like he was just always a great stand-up, funny, extremely intelligent person who was a great rapper. You know what I mean? Prolific, honestly. So yeah. I just knew. You know when you find somebody special, and he was special. So that's how that happened. I flew down and he was on set for the Bone Thugs and Harmony movie in the hood, and I sat in the trailer with Nip, Big U, and Steve, and we worked out the deal.
You know, is it hard to have like when you have like a label and then there's so many bigger labels? You know what I mean? Is it hard to convince the artist to sign? Or
Nah, not if I could get in front of the artist before they sign a deal with someone else, they're gonna sign with me.
Really?
Yeah, because my deal's better. I'm way more realer than the people that they're going to deal with at these labels. They could touch, feel me, speak to me every day. If they're in jail, I'm going to get them out of jail. If they're in a situation in the streets, I'm going to help them out in that situation. I'm not like what a label is. Now, if you want to go and be in a major label, that's a different story. Yeah, I can't compete with that. I don't even move like that. But for an independent artist, you want to come fuck with Cinematic.
But you also have signed people to majors along with Cinematic?
Yeah. I don't like to do that, but if the art... So with me... And I didn't even finish my list of artists. I discovered I got to keep going with that. You got me off.
I got it's all right. It's
1/10 of the way. But now with me, it's like I'm never gonna put an artist in a situation where I'm in control of their career. Like when you sign to me, we're partners. We're gonna go do this together till the wheels fall off. And if we have a falling out relationship wise, or if you get to a point where you want to move on to a major, then we do that. You know, I don't need bad blood, bad karma with anybody. It's not that deep. Like, you know, you don't want to be in business with me anymore. Cool, we'll figure out another thing. Then there's situations like Jay the Youngin' or whatever who wanted to go to Atlantic really badly. I urged him to stay independent. I thought it would be better for him to stay independent, but he wanted to be at a major, so we went to a major. I'm not going to hold anybody back. Then there was Flipp Dinero, who I thought would be better suited at a major with a cosign from Khaled than independent with just me. So you got to know like your strengths, weaknesses, what you're capable of doing in order to get that artist to the level they want to be at, because it's my job. You're signing to me. You're putting your career and your faith in my hands. So I better do the right job for you, you know?
As a label today, how hard is it to make money? Like, obviously the music business is still moving around, but isn't it harder to make money?
Yeah, it's definitely harder. I mean, I'm lucky because I'll never perfect it, but I'm on my way to perfecting it as best I can. I got a big-ass staff, 30-plus people.
Really?
I got Hovain, who runs the management company, is my partner, and I got fucking a CFO now. I got Drew, who's the vice president.
Hostel, yep.
Yeah, his brother Noah's the GM.
Busy's
Great
there being
head
a
of
hype piece,
marketing.
wearing Supreme.
Busy's there. Shout out Busy. Nah, but the thing is it's a lot of people now. So when back in the day, and I never had mentors. See, that's why it's so important for me to mentor kids, whether they want to be in the music industry or be a cop or a fucking Super Ranger, Power Ranger. I don't give a fuck. Whatever you want to do, I'm going to try to help you reach your goal, because there was no one there to ever catch me when I was stumbling. So whether I stumbled financially early on when I didn't know shit about taxes and all this other stuff, I didn't go to college.
Sure.
So
it's not no manual.
right.
Booklet.
So the first big money I got, I blew through. Then the taxes came. I'm like, oh shit. But I learned from that. That was my version of going to college. That was my tuition. So along the way, I feel that like I was just kind of, wait, what was the question? Sorry, that's all the weed in the back of my head. So what was the question? Oh, hard to make money. No, so the thing is early on, it was hard, but as I got really good people around me, all people smarter than me, better than me at certain things, I asked Drew about damn near every move I make, just to make sure that he is at least looped into it, you know what I mean? And then I have a CFO who advises me, this deal's going to have you upside down, or this deal can make you money. And as long as you take educated guesses on the artist, which, like we're probably batting like 600 or 700%, like at every 10 acts that we sign, 6 or 7 of them go. So yeah, we're making money and it's good. And at this point, I just got to keep making good decisions, listening to the people around me. I'll be straight.
30+ people, man. Fuck, man. For a kid who, from a youngin', it's crazy to see like a vision or a dream come true, and then grow wings.
Yeah, it's sometimes like because I'm so in it, I don't really get to appreciate it. I really don't. And then something like Nip will happen, or my cousin will pass, and I'll have to take a step back.
Rest in peace, cousin Todd.
Yeah, rest in peace, Todd. But those type of things, when you're down, will be like, that's when you take the step back and you just say to yourself, like, like, life isn't like the work isn't as important as your life, as your friends, as like slowing down for 1 second and smelling the flowers or enjoying what you have going on, so more recently, just because, in the last year was a rough year for me, I've been able to take a step back and just be like, yo, like Shipes, like you really had this thing that you wanted to do at 12 or 13 or 14 years old, and then you pushed and put, like the shit I've been through to get here, and people probably wouldn't believe it. My friends know it's true, but like,
well, yeah, they just see it now.
Yeah, but it's everything from being broke, not having money to get to, when I was interning for Puff, to get to his office, and I'd have to make a decision. Was I going to take the train that day, walk to work so I had money for a bagel? All the hustling that I did, to get to the next level, as far as just by all means necessary. When there was no money to eat, the artist would eat before me. That's just a fact. Like that's just how I did it. So yeah, looking back, it's kind of crazy. And then I think more recently, like I wound up, it was very ironic because when I was like 26 is when I got my deal at Sony, and Charlie Watt gave me the deal for Sean Kingston, and then he gave me my label deal where I was able to sign Nipsey. And you never, like, in your head, even back then, I'd always look at him, L.A. Reid, anybody, be like, yeah, I want to be bigger than him. That's just the nature of the beast. You want to be the biggest, or you want to be number one. And then very recently, fast forward 14 years, there was an artist that Charlie was about to sign. And I found out about the artist, not that Charlie was going to sign him, but about the artist and how dope he was, reached out to him, and he wound up going with me over Charlie. And that was like the first time that I really sat back and was like, yeah, I'm beating these motherfuckers at their own game. I fuck with Charlie, but I'm just saying, like, that was when I really was like, all right, like, I can like, not compete, huh? Lil Cal, this kid from St. Louis. Not that I could compete with them, but it just showed me how far I come from 26, barely knowing the game and learning it, to getting on one call with the artist and being like, all right, I'll sweeten that deal up. I'll do this. Where are you at? I'm going to fly you in right now. Because Leor Cohen said some ill shit on Breakfast Club when he was up there last, that he shoots the gun.
Yeah, I love that. Bro, I talk about that line all the time.
Yeah. I got a big ass Draco. He got like a whatever he got.
He's like, it's on safety.
I'm ready to shoot my shit too. My shit isn't on safety.
Yeah.
If I see something fire, I'm going after it. I'm getting it that day. I seen a kid yesterday that was fire. He was up here by Sunday. Or not yesterday, 3 days ago. He was literally up here by Sunday, spent the week with me. So yeah, I'm shooting my gun off immediately when I see some shit, you know? And that resonated with me because I really fuck with Leor. Like, I like just I just respect how he came up. I know he was a very hard worker, you know what I mean? And just got to the bag by all means necessary. So when he said that, I say that to Hovain a lot when we just joke around. I'll just be like, yeah, like, you know, I got the gun too. Like, I'm ready to go. I got the checkbook. Let's sign whatever we feel is hot that's moving, you know? So I want to just compete with everybody and wind up number one at some point.
You know, for people listening at home that know about cinematic or know about you or know about, you know, and A. King actually asked this question off air, and I said, we got to ask it again. Like, what do you look for in an artist to sign in 2019?
I don't look at the views and the gas, because that was like the first thing that I think that a lot of people look at, or they'll say, oh, he's verified, or oh, he got 100,000. So what? I've done that time and time again where I'll find an artist that has 50 fucking followers, but he's so special that we'll make him into that. You know what I mean? I'd rather do that than be foisted into something that, like, you like the Larry David reference, the foisting. You know about foisting?
Yeah.
Cool. I'd rather be foisted into, like, signing some random kid that fucking paid for 100,000 of his views. And I don't know. And it happened to me before. Like, there was a moment where I almost lost my grip in the game where I was signing motherfucking little twins that had like views, but the views were fake. And after that shit happened, I said to myself, I was like, never again. Like, don't sign shit based on numbers, because I've never done that before. Joey Badass had fucking a few hundred views on the freestyle that I found him off of. You know what I'm saying?
And so you signed Joey Badass too.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I know you said. What was? Oh, the list
I got
of people?
A laundry list.
Wait. You got a Santa Claus list, but where were you?
What was I saying? Oh, yeah, no. So how I find an artist is,
or what you look for.
I listen to everything that gets sent to me. So now it's a little more filtered because it got too crazy. But I used to give my email. Somebody runs up on me in the street, cool, send it to me, and I'll listen to that shit because you never know. You never know where the next Big is, or Jay, or Nas, or any of the greats. You know what I'm saying? So now it goes through an A&R process. They get it to me, and I still listen to everything. But I just listen to the music first, and if the music is incredible, then I want to know what the person looks like. Is he believable? Does it match his music? I fuck with it. Then the next step is basically, you know, like, okay, let me see what the whole movement he has going on, or what's going on with him. And if there is no movement, that doesn't normally bother me. That's just like all right, I'll have to help you create your movement. But it starts with the music for me, and then the artist got to be a star.
So cinematic is a label. They're also a management, right? What exactly is cinematic?
Cinematic is a Supreme of music. Mm-hmm. So Supreme, in my opinion, is the ultimate streetwear brand. They've been around forever.
Sure. Tremendous collaborations.
Yeah, just the best.
Things I never ever thought was possible. Like when they did the baseball
or the plunger, or all types of
just
shit.
Tremendous. Like, I was like, why the fuck would I think what was it, Rollins or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to check, but
baseball, I was like, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, so basically, I like to compare it to that, where the music starts it. So let's just say Supreme started with skateboarding. They'll never lose their edge or their roots in skateboarding, whereas Cinematic started with music, and it will always be a record label. But if I drop a piece of clothing, if I drop a record, if I drop a whatever, you better believe the artwork is going to be incredible. The clothing is going to be top notch. You know, like this is actually a Cinematic hat. Shameless plug. Feel me? See right now.
It's dope. I like it.
But this is a very good quality hat.
Let me see.
That's Ebbets Field. Shout out to them. Another shameless plug.
Corduroy?
Yeah, you know,
Felt?
maybe corduroy. I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, look on the inside of the whole tag. I'll tell you.
Nice.
But you know, long story short is I don't want to do anything whack. I don't want to do anything forced. I I'm taking my time and I'm just doing it the way I want to do it. And the extensions of cinematic, because it starts as a record label, you have a management company, you have a publishing company, you have a touring, entity in the Smokers Club, which is tucked under cinematic. You have Felt, the clothing line, along with our other merchandising like avenues. Yeah, and that's really what it is. And we just launched Cinematic TV last year, which is the content side of it. So I'm super excited about that. I want to do comedy. That's probably my biggest goal, even bigger than music. I really want to do comedy, whether it's film, TV, cartoons. That's a big part of my life, So that's the vision of it all.
That's dope. It's crazy too when you think about when you say cinematic and what it is, because there's a lot of things that people don't know, and this is why, I wanted to have you on too, because it's like a lot of people don't know these things. Even like T-Pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
T-Pain is
yeah.
managed by cinematic, or
both. So Pain was in a deal at RCA that he couldn't get out of. He was stuck there for 5 years. Nothing I'm saying is not known, so I'm not putting anything on blast. And he was just in a bad position. But Payne is so young. He was 33 when I got the opportunity to work with him. And, I just sat with him. I said, bro, if you give me the opportunity and if you believe in yourself the same way you believed in yourself in the beginning, I could get you back to where you need to be at. And, we have, minus the big hit. We need a big hit, which we're working on. But everything else, his finances are great now. He has a show on television going in its second season on Fuse called School of Business, which is a very creative show. I didn't want to do some typical reality bullshit with him, which is good because he wanted to be looked at as like a boss. You know what I mean? And he is. He makes his own investments and things like that. So, Payne wound up signing on the label side and management, and we've been rocking for 2 years. And I'm hoping. I think he's pretty happy. I spoke to him a few hours ago. He's good.
Well, shouts to T-Pain. Before we go to break, you mentioned something. It's like you're the type of kid that does this because you lived your life and you don't even realize how much you've done.
Yeah.
You're like, when you're interning for Puff. How the fuck does that happen?
Playing basketball. Because I'm fucking nasty at basketball.
I heard about this, but I don't know.
Whatever camera I need to look at, whatever fucking music exec,
right there.
whatever music exec, whatever
one-on-one,
whatever artist wants to play ball. And I'm 40 now, so I'm older. I don't know if I'll beat every one of you, but I'm going to give you a run. My jumper's probably the wettest in the entire industry.
Who would you compare it to?
Steph Curry with the
Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, if you put me behind the 3-point line, I'm going 7 for 10.
What is Johnny?
We could go do that right after this. I got shit on my phone.
Are you throwing on basketball shorts? What
of
sneakers
course.
What sneakers are you wearing when you're on there?
Supremes. The Supreme Air Maxes that I wore to the last time I had to slay my fucking office. They were talking shit. Oh, these are just regular. What are you looking at my shoes right now?
No, I lost my phone, but it's all good.
So the last time I had to spank the office, extra pause, the last time one of these kids was talking shit to me, who's my younger by 13 years, I said, you know what? All right, cool. I'll see you on the court. I didn't practice. I hadn't touched a ball in about 2 years. Put on some nice Supreme Air Maxes. Put on a full Larry Bird outfit.
Okay, I see you.
Full Larry Bird, feel me? Came in, destroyed him, spanked him, sent him home. He looked stupid. Then he wants to challenge me again. I said, bro, I don't even know if I want to play you again. I need to see somebody else on the court. So I'm open to all challenges. I'm all right.
Is there somebody really, really nasty and cinematic with playing ball?
Me.
No, besides you.
Diz is okay.
Smoke
Diz
Diz.
is all right.
Oh, Smoke Diz is part of cinematic.
Of course. Diz has started the whole thing.
And what is he? He's managed or is on the label?
Both now, but he has his own label deal with us. So he bossed up. He got out of his deal with this creep named Chuck Wilson, who's one of those industry people. And long story, very long story short, is early on in our careers, we didn't even understand about masters and how to put out music and shit. So he got taken advantage of. We were coming up together the same way, but we just didn't know everything. So he wound up signing this dude. He only got out of the deal this year. So now he's fully independent cinematic. He owns his masters, everything. And we also, Jove manages him.
Nice.
Me and Diz are too good of friends for me to manage him. We fight often. But Diz is okay at ball.
He wears phone pauses playing ball.
He probably does.
Nah, he gave him up. He said, "I see."
Yeah, he said he doesn't wear the phone pauses anymore. There's nobody really good at cinematic like that.
Really? Holy shit! With nobody playing ball. Johnny Shipes is the star player at cinematic.
But see, that's the mindfuck because I look like a fat baseball player, right? Dude, you sleep on my jumper.
Mantle.
You sleep on my jumper. I'm gonna drain him from 3 steps behind the 3-point line. If you come too close to try to get your hand up in my face, I'll just blow past you because I'm faster than I look. Cameron is actually dead nice at ball.
Really?
And Cam is part of Cinematics. So,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Cam is nasty. Cam's probably better than me, but I'm very good.
Okay, well, we're gonna see about this. We gotta see. And I'm not saying I'm challenging you.
No,
I just
well,
want to watch.
hopefully off this podcast, somebody feels froggy, and they can hit me up. And we could put a stack on the game.
So you're playing basketball.
Oh yeah, so how I met Puff. So I was playing ball in the Hamptons. I wound up playing with them every weekend because they were extra pause. Jesus Christ, playing with them every weekend.
Yeah. That was something you were interested
so I was playing with them every weekend, pause, and yo, if you're homies with Cam, you cannot say pause, like, because I know it's a dated word, but I'll get slayed after the fact. So, so I would just play ball with them every weekend. I became cool with a bunch of them.
Diddy?
And his whole like crew of people that was like, be the same as like us now. We're out in the Hamptons.
Sure.
My friends come out, we play ball. So I made homies with this dude named Jameel Spencer, who ran Puff's marketing company, Blue Flame. And I was interning for Puff, and then I wound up like helping them. They had their first company retreat in the Hamptons, and they never got the permits. So Jameel called me and was like, yo, we have 200 employees out here that just took buses, and we don't got anywhere to put them. Can you help us? And my friend owned this horse farm out there, so I called the guy. I was like, yo, can Puff do his weekend retreat there? So I saved the day. And then Jameel wound up hiring me as the first employee at Bad Boy. Well, at Blue Flame Marketing, which was Puff's marketing company. So I was there for like a year, never wanting to do that. It was just a good opportunity, got me in the door. I was like 19 or 20, and I would go to the studio every night with this dude named Slam, who may or may not still be with Puff, but he was a great vocal producer, and just started learning, like the perfecting my craft until I could find somebody big, which is what I did.
Did you bond with Puff? Did he...
Not like that. Like, I used to be at his crib. It'd be small, like, gatherings. I'd be one of those dudes out there, like, in the Hamptons or whatever, but not like, we're not homies now or nothing like that.
Yeah. Hey, listen, the music business is and we spoke about this off air as well, is very competitive, very shady. Like, is there like a time where you're like, man, like just, there's a lot of, I don't want to say hatred for other people, but it's like, beating someone to the other punch like we spoke about, or having like, somebody, like, there's a lot of shady shit in the music business.
Yeah, but there's a lot of shady shit in the streets too.
Every business there is.
I was either going to hustle my entire life or I was going to do music. There's no even in between.
Well, this one's a little bit more sure shot to stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're shady. I don't surround myself with those type of people. That's probably why I'm not at these industry parties and shit like that. I just do my work. I do what I love to do, and then I go do whatever else I want to do, whether it's voicing over my animals, going to eat good meals with my friends, getting high as fuck, joking around. All the snakes and shit, they're very far from me. I learned that early.
Yeah. Was it hot to spot? You know what I mean? Or
Yeah, hell yeah. They were literally in my backyard. They were chilling.
In your house? Smoking your weed?
Right next to me, right here.
Internet, you know what? Let's go to a quick break. We're sitting here with the one and only, the jefe of Cinematic, the Johnny Shipes. Internet, we'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Cheer.
This is Drew High, Duck Down Music, and you're tuned in to the Premium Pete Show.
Internet, and we're sitting here with Johnny Shipes, the CEO boss of Cinematic.
Yo.
Anyway, listen, we were speaking off. This is what I really like what you were talking about.
Okay.
Is that a lot of people, and I know a lot of managers in the business, people who didn't know they signed up to be a loan shark, didn't know they signed up to be a babysitter, didn't know they signed up to be a therapist, and it's crazy because what you were saying is you've put a lot of people sometimes in front of you. And it's crazy because you think about it, and it's a great thing that you're that type of person. But at the same time, you lose a little bit to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't anymore. Like,
Okay,
I definitely give my all to every single one of the artists that have chosen to sign with me, and I treat them like family. But I put myself first now. I wasn't putting myself first for a really long time, probably from like the beginning of when I was trying to do shit to like 34 or 5. Which is only 4 years that I've been moving this other way, 3-4 years. You could build up somebody else's whole career, build their festival, their clothing line, their company, instead of your own. And then you turn around, and whether you're fired for whatever reason, they're having a bad day, or they think you did something you may not, who knows? You just never know what the problem could be. I know I wake up moody sometimes and go hard on my employees. So I get, the artist mentality of how they're looking at me or somebody else. But those days are just over as far as like, investing so much time and energy into another person when really I should be investing it into myself and then into other people.
Sure. We think in hip hop, a lot more men are signed than women, right? You ever think of that?
Yeah.
Is you ever keep your eye out to try to find more talent?
Females?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just got to be the right talent. I'm very close to signing this girl right now. I don't know if she'd be considered like hip hop. She's more like alternative, like pop or whatever. But yeah, I just sign what I love. But yeah, I mean, like I'm not. I don't know. It's harder to break a girl, I think. But there's a lot of girls breaking right now. I'm happy for all of them, you know what I mean? But I think it's way harder to break a female artist than a male artist in hip-hop. Why do
you think that?
I don't know, honestly. I really don't. Like, I've never been able to put my finger on it.
They need a lot of makeup.
A lot of... Yeah, it's definitely more expensive.
Gotta look nice every day.
When you have a team like you do, there's 30 plus maybe 40 employees, it's hard to not micromanage people. It's hard to let them run and do their thing and trust in what they do. How hard has that been for you?
Very, but now I'm to the point where because like it's also about making me happy. Like what do I have to say to myself, yo, Shipes, what do you want to do? What do you like to do? Why did you get into this industry? And I definitely didn't get into the industry for all the business and all the bullshit that I deal with. I got into it because I loved music. I loved producing. I used to DJ. I came up producing off beat machines, turntables, the whole nine, and development. So now I'm very hands-on in that. I've gone back to producing. I've been producing a lot of records over the past 2 years, and honing in and focusing more on what visuals should look like and stuff. So I'm only hands-on the stuff I want to be. Like Drew really handles the business side with Noah.
Oh, Drew.
Some other people. Yeah, Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still very, everybody wakes up to texts and emails from me at 4 or 5 in the morning, so I don't sleep. So it could be anything on a certain night that I'll just be up and be like, let me see what this person's Spotify headliner looks like, and if I don't like the headline, meaning the picture they've chosen or whatever, I still do all that. I'm crazy in my own way.
So you got to give yourself a break on that, actually, or you drive yourself fucking crazy.
Yeah. Well, now my phone is on Do Not Disturb.
You drink wine? You drink wine?
I don't drink liquor. I just drink.
Oh, wine's
water.
a grape.
Yeah, wine here and there, but I'm not a big liquor person.
Yeah.
I'm a smoker. But my phone's on Do Not Disturb now, so in general. So basically, that has taken one little piece of stress off me as far as just the phone doesn't ring anymore. You just get to see what missed calls, and then you call people
Sure.
back.
And then you decide how to handle that.
Yeah.
Cinematic, man. We spoke about Joey Badass being on the label. We spoke about Smoke DZA, Big K.R.I.T, T-Pain. Who else am I missing? Who? Nipsey. Rest in peace. Sean Kingston. Early on, cinematic?
Sean was early. And then more recently has been Jay the Young and Ace, Flipp Dinero, BBG Baby Joe.
Who brought
Lil
Flipp Dinero?
Soulja.
Did Sab bring Flipp
No,
Dinero?
Joey Badass brought
Really?
me Flipp. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Joey was telling me for 6 months, he was like, yo, this kid is fire. I was like, send it. They're like, yo, we don't got any recorded music. I was like, can I hear something? Then finally he recorded this song, I Do. And Joey's cameraman, this kid D, was who really found him. I think they were from the same neighborhood. And they sent me the I Do record, and I was like, this kid is fire. I don't even think he had an Instagram account at the time.
Well,
Yeah, so that's how I found Flipp.
yeah, he did well with that. Even not only I'm thinking of a lot of people right now, but Bun B, a friend of mine for a long time as well. And that's another thing. There's a lot of people. That's what I was saying. Why I want to have you on. There's a lot of people, mutual friends, who always spoke very highly of you. And you think about it. It doesn't take overnight. And I think back to what Hovain was saying before about why it's not luck. longevity of relationships.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of time to build them like that. You know what I'm saying? And those shits don't just come overnight. You know, there's a lot of artists we've been friends with a long time that trust you, that believe in you,
Yeah.
that want to work with you, that want to do business with you. You know?
Me and Nip didn't work together for years, and he would still come scoop me from the airport. Me and K.R.I.T don't work together anymore. You know, he comes to New York, we still hang out. He comes to my crib. Like those are friends for life. You know, and then some aren't.
Yeah.
They just come and go. You know, I try not to burn a bridge. Like I come from the school of hustling, so it's like you don't burn the bridge. You build it stronger, so you could build up your reputation.
Sure.
So I try never to burn a bridge. You know, some people just turn out to be fuck boys or whatever, and you just can't fuck with them.
It happens. Somebody like Bun, you're still working with till this day. You know, trying to do figure out some different things.
I love Bun. I'm hoping we could get this top secret project together.
When's the first time you met Bun?
A long time ago with K.R.I.T. Like, you know, there was the comparisons going back and forth, and we needed Bun's blessing because everybody's like, he sounds like Pimp C, you know, and like K.R.I.T was such a big fan of Pimp and Bun, and he was hurt over that because he was like, I don't say, you know, K.R.I.T takes his music very serious. He's like, I don't sound like him, no, you know. And then finally Bun reached out, and we were all like, oh shit, and he jumped on country shit. So I know him since country shit, and he's just always been just such a great dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I've seen him perform it a bunch of times. Man, K.R.I.T is funny to see where K.R.I.T has aligned himself. I mean, he wound up executive producing the album for Bun. You know, going from a fan.
Yeah,
like,
and K.R.I.T got some shit in the stash right now that I know he's getting ready to drop.
Yeah,
you know, yeah, K.R.I.T was lost for a sec because he was at the majors, and the majors didn't know what to do with an artist like him. He's too like good and real for that, you know. He might not make a hit, and talented. He might not make a hit. He might make a classic album that then goes and gets, you know, 100,000 kids to go see him throughout 30 different states or whatever. You know, it's different types of success. But I think K.R.I.T needed to just get independent and be on his own, and now he's got his groove back.
Yeah. Do you smoke cigars?
No.
No? Mm-mm. See, I'm figuring El Jefe has to smoke cigars over here.
I don't do none of that. No jewelry, no fancy cars.
No?
I don't do none of that.
So what
shit.
is what are some of your
my vices?
Yeah, weed.
Yeah, weed. No, I don't even spend
Pets?
money on weed. So what I'm really probably just saving all my bread for, I want to have like farms and shit like that, and just be able to go there, chill with animals, like literally have my phone off, and whether that farm is in Hawaii or upstate New York, whatever, just like estates that I could just go chill at.
Like so many other labels, they miss somebody. Drew Ha, the infamous Eminem.
I missed a lot.
Who?
That's the thing, is you only hear about the hits. I missed Russ.
Okay.
Well, miss meaning I knew. I tried. I just wasn't able to get him. I missed Russ. I missed Lana Del Rey. That one kills me all the time. There's way more. Russ, Lana Del Rey. I was trying bad to sign this kid No Cap that APG got. I like him a lot. Who else recently? I know for sure Russ and Lana Del Rey because those two eat at me. But you know, it'll come back around some way, shape, or form. Like as far as just finding another artist on that level or that dope.
Yeah, you know, when an artist like makes all these requests. And I know you said you're the kind of person that you'll make them sign, like, you know, before they leave. Is it you ever had to walk away from an artist's request that was too high?
Yeah, a label deal. I mean, a deal with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Or they were just, I could tell they were going to be a headache, and it wasn't going to be worth, like, even if it was worth my time and energy, I don't know that I would do it at this point. You know, your sanity is important in this shit. So, but yeah, I've tried. I've gotten knocked down and or failed more times than I've succeeded by far. There's not even a comparison. If you want to talk about successes, you know, it's been like the brands that I've started. So whether it was a clothing line or a smokers club or cinematic, and then the artists under it. But then there's all the times you get knocked down that you don't even hear about.
Yeah,
and that happens way more often than not.
There's a lot of talent in Atlanta.
Yep.
So many, you know, so much talent, you know. Do you go down there? Are you know, is that something? Because I feel like there's like a pool of talent that came out of Atlanta. I was actually talking to YFN Lucci. And
We work with Lucci.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, me and Jose manage him.
And I was.
He was just up here?
Yeah, last night.
I knew that.
And
I
he's
didn't
like, "Hey, you're not supposed to know everything."
Yeah.
And that's a sign of a good boss. But he was explaining, like, think about it. Think about how many artists came out of Atlanta. And I was telling him when he said he was growing up, it was like people were thinking New York.
Yeah.
Now people are thinking Atlanta.
Yeah.
Do you like go down there?
I don't go down to
ear
Atlanta as much as I should. That's for sure. I don't. I should be down there more. But yeah, I mean, Atlanta's popping. It's been popping. It's been popping since probably before Outkast. I mean, I can remember when it was popping for me. But yeah, I should probably play Atlanta closer and be down there more. But I got really good people that work with me down there, so they keep me abreast of the things going on, and I've been able to find some good acts from the South.
Yeah.
Not all from Atlanta, though.
Yeah. Houston.
Not even Bogalusa, Louisiana is where Jay the Youngin's from. Youngin Ace is from Jacksonville, Florida, which I have a very long, deep history with Jacksonville prior to Ace, so that was like kind of cool that I found him. Little Soldiers from Birmingham, Alabama. Baby Joe's from Baton Rouge. So I haven't signed anything from Atlanta.
Well, that needs to happen.
Yeah.
And Jay the Youngin, how did that happen?
My homie P brought him to me. P has Zilla Kami and Sos. Do you know Zilla Kami?
No.
So they're these dope kids from like the underground out here. And he showed me Jay the Youngin, and I was a huge Boosie fan growing up, big. Like I used to be on the tour bus with K.R.I.T and all them blasting Boosie. And they'd be like, man, not shut that shit off because they all liked it too, but I would play every Boosie song. So when I heard Jay, they're kind of similar, and I was just like, oh, this is fire. I got it right away. That's the thing. Like, people get it fucked up because I see this a lot. People will hit me about this. They'll say, like, oh, Cinematic used to be a hip-hop label, and now it's doing, like, Southern. Like, no. Like the music that I like is literally, it's like genre-less. I just like good music, and it's definitely not like it gotta be East Coast boom bap or West Coast this. Like I just like good music, So the most recent run that we've been on has been a lot of Southern stuff that I personally do find very lyrical. You know what I'm saying? In their own right. Maybe like some of these kids that listen to other artists that I found that were more underground and or not as street can't relate to the lyrics that they're spitting right now, but they're still really penning crazy shit. Kodak Black is dead nice. Some people might sleep on him or whatever, but Kodak is nasty, you know what I mean? So is whoever else from the South that spits bars that don't get the proper credit for the lyrical side of stuff.
How hard is it when you sign an artist that really lives that life?
Super hard.
And get knocked and put in jail.
You just got the double pss for me and Hovain because I have lived that life for the past 2 years. It's very hard and it's hurtful too because you become friends with these people. I love Youngin Ace. Like I love that kid. He's like a brother to me, you know what I mean? Like, so, and he's living life on the edge, and that shit is scary and upsetting because you see somebody with so much talent, you know what I'm saying? And it could just be gone like this. I know it because I've lost a few friends over the past couple of years, like really close friends to me. So that was the first time I experienced how quick when it's done, it's done. And I really have a lot of love for Jay the Youngin too. I love Jay as well. And Jay got to go turn himself in today. He's probably not going to do it today. It might be tomorrow, but he has to go turn himself in, and we're hoping for the best with him. But it sucks because these kids are making millions of dollars. You know what I mean? And it's, that's why I don't fuck with Akademiks, right? Because he's a dick blower. Because the thing is like he doesn't even report on Jay the Youngin. He's not on his radar. But as soon as Jay the Youngin and Baby Joe, who are both actually signed to me, have a problem with each other, then he wants to go post that shit on his Instagram, which all that is doing is instigating two young black kids to go beef with each other, God forbid kill each other. There's already enough problems with the police out here. Like Rolling Loud was literally like a fucking a festival for them. The hip hop police are just out waiting posted. So it's like you got people also that are like adding fuel to the fire of this shit, which I really don't understand because I'm just so pro helping people in the community and trying to piece things up and doing good that like it's like I don't like those type of people. I don't even want them to post my artists. I'm all good. I'll break the artist by myself. I don't need Akademiks or whoever that's just gonna fucking breed negativity and all the hype. He's like a little, he's a fucking gossiper.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I don't know what to do, man.
Yeah.
I
don't either. I just seen the other day he posted that.
No, that's
and
corny.
What he doesn't know, because he's a fucking dweeb.
Yeah.
He's a dweeb. He doesn't even know Baby Joe and Jay have had a convo already. That shit is fucking weeks old. Like, why are you still bringing that up? Now you're re-bringing up something. And these kids have so many issues already with the law that it's like, oh, they need another thing? Why don't you fucking focus on something good?
That's why the genre of hip-hop, too, and we spoke about this for years, but, Barry, I say this all the time, Barry Manilow is touring, Kenny Rogers is touring, they're old as fuck. Nobody's sitting there saying they're washed, they're irrelevant anymore. People are buying tickets. They want to hear them. They got a glass of wine. They got they got a pretzel, and they're listening. They're not causing problems with each other. It's crazy because sometimes I feel like the hip hop is a young man's game now, and there's a certain time that they want people to come to. And like, can we see Hove with gray hair still splitting? And I mean, I'm open for it, but can people say, like, yo, he washed, he needs to stop? Like, why? Like, why is Kenny Rogers? Like, yo, Kenny Rogers, I'm telling you, man, my mother went to go see Kenny Rogers. This dude's face is like 7 times over plastic surgery. Look like you put him in the microwave.
But Jay could never be washed because he's just so precise with the way he moves, and he's so nasty with every bar he gives you. He's just too smart to even ever be washed. He won't put out that album that people will be like, oh, he's washed.
But why doesn't Rakim have like a residency in Vegas?
Rakim.
I think that's different though.
Yeah, because Rakim.
I think that might be a combination of who's his handlers.
Yeah,
but there should be somebody having a residency.
To your question, I think it's a fear from some of the younger generation that some of the old guard, so to speak, in their minds, they're taking up space for them, but they haven't done the work that a Jay-Z has, right? So when Jay-Z dropped 444, you saw it was like 60% Jay's this is the manual for.
Then the people were
and then you had the others that's like, why don't he stop, man? Because they're intimidated by the success and the what's the word I'm looking for? The power in his music. Like it's
he's gotten to a whole nother level where when he's flossing, he's not talking to you about just jewelry and cars. He's talking about the yacht and the $20 million piece of art he bought. It's just different. But
we do in our culture of hip hop, of streetwear, of the
ageism, yes.
But people right away will say I'll give an example. Like, you have elevated Hovain, have elevated your career. Went on to manage a lot of people. Look, I'm proud of you. But the point I'm trying to make is...
And he's just getting started.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, so say in 5 years you're not managing.
He managed me as a producer.
He did?
Yeah, no, he does. Him and Druha.
Did he get you some...
It's not about the placements with them because I only work with who I want, but they handle the business.
I want you in
They-
movies, on the next Mafia movie.
in the next
Get a
one I got
production
that,
firm. No, but the point I'm making is if you don't manage anymore after 10 years, why are we not saying, yo, when Hovain manager, we appreciate your contributions to the game?
Who's gonna say it? There's no organization. There is no.
We need a fucking
there's
union.
No union.
Oh,
There's
you're
no
saying
unity.
like why aren't people saying, Hovain, we respect your...
No, meaning...
Like, for instance, going to Dante Russ, who I think is somebody that's done a lot for...
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the industry and
legendary.
just music. Yeah, legendary. Or Mike Dean or whoever. And
Yeah.
people, what you're saying, they don't have a legacy?
Well, they have a legacy, but what I mean is people, if they're done, and say if Hovain wants to say something on, say he gets to argument on Twitter, somebody will come out. He hasn't managed anybody in 5 years. Yo, what are you doing now?
Well,
you don't even do it. Like, you're not relevant.
But
what about his contribution? Somebody like Dante Ross's contribution should live on forever.
That's a fact.
Somebody like Hovain,
That's a fact.
even when he's done said and done, or whatever the fuck he's doing, his contribution should live on forever. Combat Jack, Rakim, the whole fucking puzzle of hip hop.
agreed, but... Well, we're saying a lot of different things because for me as an entrepreneur, like I'm only as good as my last success. I'm gonna work till I'm 60 or 65 years old and then be done. And at that point, hopefully, I'm doing a lot of comedy shit and a lot of philanthropic work.
Are you doing stand up? You mean?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I think I could honestly.
Voiceovers?
Definitely voiceovers. Definitely can write shit. You know what I mean? I am writing with Ev Boogie who.
Yeah, shout out to Boogie, Up North Trips.
Yeah, that's like that. Him and Diz are like my two best friends. You know.
Listen, I want someone to also tell him that he's appreciated.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
You know, because I feel like sometimes, you know,
a lot of these bigger companies. Not to cut you off.
Okay,
a lot of these bigger things bit off Up North Trips.
Sure,
Up North Trips was doing shit before fucking whoever came in. I don't want to call out names, and stole this little piece from him and this little piece from him. You know, Ev is a character. He just never really wanted the next level of it. He enjoys what he does, and that's cool. Sometimes I admire people like that. You know what I mean? Ev could have a job right now at Cinematic, a high-paying job. He doesn't want it. He just wants to do what he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ev is a marketing genius, in my opinion. So, you know, we work on some stuff together. But, yeah, I agree. I just think that, like, I really, like, admire, like, Jay, Puff, Leor, Rick Rubin, because they've been able to, like, they're the legends that I grew up off. Steve Rifkin, you know, those type of people.
Of course.
And they've been able to continue to do stuff. Like Puff got a ton of shit going on still. He's not stopping anytime soon. Jay-Z just became the first billionaire in hip hop. He's not stopping anytime soon. I personally not disagree with what you're saying, but I think that you got to be as relevant as your last hit. But as your last success, people can always go back and be like, yeah, Shipes founded Cinematic, but in 10 years, if Cinematic's irrelevant and I didn't finish my whole vision of it, it's not going to be the same legacy as Def Jam or Loud. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But then on the Rakim side of things, right, because, you know, we're tight with Pete Rock, with Dizza, and Pete Rock with the Don't Smoke Rock stuff.
Smoke Rock, yeah.
That's different because that, I think, like, you know, it's hard because, like, the people in Vegas right now are probably 20-year-old kids.
Yeah,
they want to hear Tyga's new record or this artist's new record, you know what I'm saying? And
Little Baby.
And yeah, and if Rakim came in there and performed whatever record, they're gonna be like, huh? What the fuck is this?
No, you're right. You're right. And you know what? I'm glad you didn't smoke before you came in.
It's you got a very clear interview with me.
No. You know why?
Go down
because
in the
he was
books.
able to see. He's like, wait, we're saying a lot of different things here. Because I am saying one thing. I am saying, but it's something. At least you know, there's some clarity there. You know, and there's some clarity that we. You know, I hope to see the longevity, man. I hope to see, like you know, and what Hovein's saying, you know, this is the first time we're seeing an old rapper. It's not like we have a Bill Russell, you know, but there will be, there will be.
It's a new genre.
Yeah, I mean, I just like one thing I do like about Cinematic is it looks like.
Oh, you only like one thing?
Well, there's a couple of things. I gotta go down the line, but one thing I like is how I feel like there's a good balance of older and younger. So even like meaning like somebody like a T-Pain and then you could, you know, J.D. Young, you know what I mean? It's like you go
even in the staff. You know what I mean? Like there's the
Drew
Ha that can teach me stuff and teach the younger kids stuff, and Chris Hirsch, who, you know, is the head of marketing, or Hovain, that we got young managers that look up to us. And that I love that. Like, you know, we don't have to touch on it in this particular interview, but like the charitable work that I do is probably more important than the work that I do. I love seeing young kids get inspired, and like even if I can only spend a few hours with them a month because my schedule's crazy, but you know, I have a charity and I go talk to these kids. Like, that's what I'm about. Like, I want to see kids in their eyes think that they have the hope and the opportunity or the chance to make it, just like me or Hovain or you or any of us did, because we followed our dreams. Some of these kids don't have a mom or dad to tell them to follow their dreams. Yo, keep pushing, you know, do your thing. So I think that the balance of old and young at the office, artists, and also exec-wise is important, because the young kids, like, you know, my whole A&R team are young people. You know, but they get to talk to somebody like me who's been doing it for a minute.
Sure.
And then there's the marketing team. These kids are young. They look up to Chris or whatever. So I think that's a good balance. You know, you can't have all old or just all
Sure.
young.
What's next for Cinematic?
Well, I want to be the #1 record label in the world for as far as an independent. So that's the goal.
Who is the #1 as far as independent?
Us.
We're close. We're getting there. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know who I got to dethrone. But I know that the day that it happens, the guys are going to tell me, like, yo, we're the number one in the world at this point.
Yeah,
that's really the goal. Like, you know, the artist, I could tell you, oh, the goal is to get this. The goal is always to get the artist to superstar level. So right now we have a bunch of artists that we feel are potential flagship artists, and we got to now take the next steps to develop them carefully over the next 18 months, like we did in the past with Joey or Nip or K.R.I.T or Mick Jenkins or Dizza, you know, whoever.
So it's been amazing to see Joey's career, man. I mean, from when he just came up. I remember Buckshot. I heard through
yeah, Drew Howe tried to sign him.
Yeah.
Not before me. Like, I had already gotten to Joey, but that's how me and Drew met, was through Joey. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been amazing to see his you know, how he's been able to develop himself into an artist like that, man.
Yeah.
You know, and
I wish him the best of luck. You know, he
moved on.
Him and I parted ways like almost 2 years ago, and now he's at Columbia. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a great lyricist. You know what I mean? So I imagine that the next album from him is going to be insane. The Beast Coast album was fire.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, well, shouts to Joey and blessings to, you know, Pro Era and everything they're doing. You know, how many pets do you fucking have?
5.
Because before we end this,
I almost had a 6th.
Before we end this, we got to.
Yeah. I have 5 now, but I almost had a 6th yesterday, but I didn't like him when I brought him home. I gave him right back.
What, did you fucking return them?
Yeah, I wasn't fucking with him. I did not like this little dog.
On Instagram, Johnny Shipes, right? JONNY Shipes. Is that how you spell your name, Johnny?
Johnny, yeah, with no H.
Okay.
I'm a Jew. Jonathan Johannaton.
He's a good Jew.
There's a voiceover for you right now.
You know,
This character is called Howard Rosenskunt. You could talk to me about all the dirty shit that we do in the music industry. I'll tell you everything.
I need another one. Who else is there? Is there a Italian guy there?
Yeah, I had this fucking dog named Sharky for a little bit. He was actually J.D. Youngin's fucking dog. This dog was fucking beautiful. His fucking baby blue eyes made me want to kiss him on his fucking mouth. Pause. Sharky got given away, unfortunately, and that's a whole different story, but that dog was fucking gorgeous. Well, what's next?
It's a Russian, yeah.
Oh, I don't have a Russian character yet, but
I'll give you a Russian character.
What about somebody like this, more like Game of Thrones? His name's Fat Henry, you know, that's my orange cat. Oh, hey, Pete, I saw you had Johnny on today. What could you and that idiot have been speaking about?
And then I got Four-Wheeler, who's my street cat. Man, fuck Johnny Shipes. You need to be interviewing Hovain. That's the real motherfucking genius behind this shit. So, yeah, I do. You know, I got a few of them.
That might be the first show.
Word. No, I have the show. I have I have a show called Good Talk coming out pretty soon.
On Cinematic?
Yeah.
Okay.
And really, I want to talk to you more, you know, off the air, obviously. Yeah. I really want you to help me build this thing, man. Like, it's going to get built. I just need to find the right people. Just like I said, Cinematic's going to get built, and people thought I was crazy. Cinematic TV will compete with Vice and Complex just in my own right.
We need food stuff. You need comedy stuff.
Yeah, comedy. Yeah. So I don't want to give away any of my game plan.
Okay. Nobody needs to fucking hear this.
But I have...
No,
you can keep it, but I have a concept for comedy that, like, we got to talk about.
Yeah.
Because that's where I want to go next. Everybody's focused on other things, sports agencies and marketing agencies and all that other shit. I'm focused on music, and I want to step right here, and I want to create the next In Living Color meets Mad TV.
I love it. Fire Marshal Bill.
All that.
You know, an artist is listening to this, and he's torn. Wants to, feels like he's nice, but hasn't got signed yet. Yeah. What's some advice you have for some of the artists that are nice but haven't been able to really get a deal with independent or anybody?
You gotta create the buzz yourself. If somebody like me doesn't find you, not just me, someone like me, meaning like somebody that's gonna take a chance from an artist from scratch that got nothing going on but just great talent, then you got to make us care. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many people that just hit me on wherever DM or however you can get to people on social media now, and they're like, oh, yo, check my shit out. You go check it out. There's nothing going on. It's like you got to go put in work and make it. You know, Jay the Youngin was buzzing before I signed him in Bogalusa and around there in Louisiana. Youngin Ace, same thing. He had a song with 1 million views on it. He was only on the hook, but I knew he was a star. You know, like, you got to be doing something. You got to be something got to be popping out. That's what I would tell an artist.
When they get signed now, they get a cinematic chain?
Nah.
Come on.
Yeah, you know, we were doing that for a minute,
Give 'em a button.
and then it just, you know, I prefer for the artists to be branded themselves, and then, you know, as time goes along and shit, you know, I get them a cinematic chain. I just think it looks cheesy to like, yo, here's the chain, you know what I mean? Go run around with my label on your neck, like that shit is like.
Yeah.
I'd rather get them their own chain that they want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not big into like forcing cinematic down people's throats. Pause. Like I don't care about that. The legacy will be spoken for by itself. Like if you look back in 30 years and I built something as special as Def Jam or something, it'll be remembered. Maybe from our jackets or maybe from how much people liked me or Hovain or this interview. I don't want to use like the artist to brand my shit.
Sure. I know what you mean.
You know.
You know, as we wind this down, you know. You sometimes don't take the time, and we spoke about this too, really understand how far you've come, you know, from a little kid, you know, separated parents, just listen to some fucking music, to, you know, turning into almost 40, staff of 40 fucking people that has some elite and some great artists and does some great things on the label. You know, have you ever thought about like just, and I know this may sound crazy, but you know, have you ever thought of like quitting?
Yeah, of course. Like almost damn near every day, this guy talks me out of it. I don't, you know, this is a deep question. To be honest with you, I don't know how deep I want to go into it, but you know, after Todd and Nip passed, it just made me reflect a lot about life and what I haven't done yet versus what I have, and you know. Yeah, it's just a rough one. It's a hard one for me because I love making music. I don't love the music industry. And the 12-year-old me probably wouldn't have gone down this path if I knew all the shit that came with it. I'm built for it. I can handle all of it, and I have been, and I'm going to keep powering through it. But at this point, I can't turn back. You know, I'm not going to just stop and go open my chicken spot or whatever other ideas I have. But it's a good question. And honestly, yeah, there's many days where I'll hear Hovain up and be like, yo, bro, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, part of what got me here was continuing to push.
Sure.
And then I think, like, you know, same with him and others. So it's like, you know, you'll see other people get a fader cover or whatever. Like, Joey Badass never got a fucking fader cover. What the fuck is the fader doing?
Who's that, Rob Stone over there?
Whoever's over there now, I don't know, but fucking, but the thing is like, yo, this is your hometown. You're from New York. Your offices are in New York City, and this is old. This is a gripe that's old. I'm just giving you an example of how frustrating it can be. Joey Badass didn't get a cover of the fader, but you want to give blah 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 the cover of the fader, and those blah blah blahs are artists that have come and gone. They're not legends. Like some of them were legends, and then some of them were like, yo, this was the flavor of the month, but you didn't give this future legend or Big K.R.I.T or fucking Nipsey, you know. So like, yeah, that's frustrating to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. Those type of things aren't why I got in the music industry, but it's hurtful when you work so hard and then you know your artist that you're working with is so good and they didn't get certain things. And I'm not coming at the fader. I'm just using them as an example, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard. And then also when like real life shit hits you, you gotta man up and just be like, yo, keep pushing.
Now, that was your real life cousin Todd?
Yeah, that was my little brother.
And what did he also do for the label? Did he work anything?
Everything.
Yeah.
From the beginning,
his
too.
voice, first of all, he reminds me of...
I can still do Cousin Todd's voice. He's still with us today. Yo, Premium Pete, I love you, dude.
Blowing smoke. Let me explain something to you. Blowing smoke all over the place. I mean this. I didn't know him like that. But I will say this. When you think about ever quitting, and that's your angel, and he would never want you to quit. You know, you think about that. You know,
I know that. I really do, too.
Because
like,
if you quit, it'd be like, you fucking dummy, what are you doing? You know, you should be there smoking fucking weed and signing people. No,
it's a fact. Some other crazy shit happened to me, too, recently. That like I know my guys are still with me, the guys that like a Todd or a Nip, because just shit like that. I do hear Todd a lot talking to me, or I'll be at the office late by myself and like some lights will flicker, and I just know it's him, or there's a cat at the office that always just goes to where Todd's mural is, you know what I mean? Like at night when I'm there. So I know, like, you know, cats have those type of senses. I feel like Todd's there. And then crazy shit, I just moved to a neighborhood where the neighbors are huge Nipsey Hussle fans. Every Friday night, you seen it, or I called you and told you. Busy dropped me off last Friday, and they're blasting Nip on the porch. And I just like,
That's awesome.
I just like walked in my crib and I was like, yo, like, you know, this type of stuff, just like, in some strange way, he's still there, just like, you know, it's fucked up, but yeah, that's like kind of.
I know you said you never had a mentor, right? But has anyone ever reached out that you were surprised by, and then like, you know, like?
Yeah, always. People hit me when they want something from me, and then it's like.
I didn't mean that, but I'm sure there's a lot of that.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh shit, that's kind of ill. But nah, no one has. But I want to be a good mentor to a bunch of people. I feel like I'm a good mentor to the cinematic staff right now. Yeah, I want to see everybody win. I don't have any.
Definitely taught me a lot. How to delegate, trusting people, and cause I worked alone. Like, you know what I'm saying? He showed me how to work with people, how to utilize the staff, you know, shit like that. There's certain things that he told me that's so simple, but so deep and complex. You're like, wow, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that shit I just honestly just learned by trial and error. I had so many errors in my life that now, and I say this humbly, but like I have had so many fuck ups and so many missteps. And as long as you're smart enough not to take those missteps again, like you could be really great. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's where I'm at now. Like almost like on like a, I don't know the word for it, but like I can't do much wrong because it's like I've been down here before. Oh, word, this is going on with this staff member or artist or blah, blah, blah. Let me conduct myself in this manner and fix this. So like I feel good as far as like, you know, they say if you do something for 10,000 hours, you become a genius. I mean, we're talking about like 1 million hours probably. Oh, this is all I do.
Yeah. Fucking Johnny Shipes, man. Cinematic.
You. Appreciate you having me up.
Listen, man, fucking, it's crazy when you really think about the journey. Do you celebrate your wins, though? Do you celebrate them? You go out, you fucking eat steak, lobster?
I tell them it's hard to see the forest from the trees, though.
Yeah. No, I know, but I will.
Tornado, you don't really see.
I know, but there's a lot of people too. I know that say over the, like, oh, when we get where we're gonna go.
Yeah, no.
You may
so
never
I used
get
to say that. No, it's a fact. I used to say that, and also I used to not. Oh yeah, we only did this or that, but it's not about that. It's not about QC selling more records than me or TDE, which props to them, you know, they have. But if I compare myself to them, I'm always going to be miserable because there's always differences in everybody. You know what I'm saying? They might look at me and be like, oh, I wish I had what blah, blah, blah had. So you just got to be happy and content with what you have. And I am learning that. It's hard because I am a very competitive person. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think I'm getting better at appreciating what I have been able to do. Well,
listen, blessings and congrats. Internets, pay attention to Cinematic.
Yeah.
Shouts to Hovain. Shouts to A King. Cinematic on Instagram. Cinematic
Music Group.
Cinematic Music Group.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny Shipes, JONNY Shipes, SHIPES. Hovain is straight up HOVAIN. Yeah. What does Hovain mean, man?
Man who will became.
Okay.
Feel me?
Okay, you got a lot to live up to. I love Hovain. I just don't love that he's wearing a Boston Red Sox
Me
hat
either,
right
man.
now.
I cannot fuck with that hat.
Man.
I never even seen you in that hat.
Yeah, man.
They send me stuff sometimes.
I know. But still, I'm still
Boston's
upset
unacceptable. No disrespect to Boston, but as a Mets fan,
Hey, there could be the next-
and a secondary Yankees fan, I'm not fucking
There
with
could be a
Boston.
next artist coming out of Boston.
Word.
Who knows? Internets, he's under the radar, so I appreciate you coming to sit down with me,
doubt.
man.
No
One and
doubt.
only Johnny
Thank
Shipes.
you. I appreciate it, bro.
Cheer. Internets, if you enjoyed that episode, then hit me up. That's right. Email me at thepremiumpeatshow@gmail.com. Again, that's thepremiumpeatshow@gmail.com. If you're an advertiser, any big company, small company, startup, whatever it is, you want to advertise on the Premium Peep Show, hit me up. Email thepremiumpeatshow@gmail.com. And we'll get to working. Okay? And if you have a suggestion or you want to hear a certain guest on the show, whatever it is, okay? You know, you could at Premium Pete Show on Twitter or Instagram. Or for the last time, I'll tell you, well, I'm not going to, it's not the last time. Email me, thepremiumpeatshow@gmail.com. And let's get to working. Cheer.